third position, Bevan Kelly of New Zealand.
Would you like somebody to commentate with you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm Pete. How you going?
Yeah, hey Pete, how are you? Nice skiing. Thank you. Let's see, you could either use this one. Yeah, this one works.
Here, I do my show with the roving mic.
Got Peter O'Neill of Australia with me here in the booth. Welcome and good job skiing here. You've had a pretty good tournament so far, Pete.
Thank you. Yeah, I've had a bit of a comeback after a few injuries last year, and I was all but retired, and then Sandsy taught me coming back in and try and take down that team medal again, and yeah, so it's good to get back, do my bit for the team.
Yeah, I don't know why, Pete, you'd consider retiring after the performance you had at the 2016 World Championships. I thought you had a pretty solid Worlds there, and expected to see you here.
I think I was lucky at the 2016 World Championships. I hadn't done a lot of training and put a couple of scores up that were perhaps, I didn't ski great, but they were definitely out of my range of what I should have been doing then. But no, it's been fun. When I retired, I never really left the sport. I still hung around. I just drank more beer and less water.
Yeah, well, Ken Derry says it was his turn to take the Worlds off, and it was your turn to come and ski, and that you're both going to ski at the next Worlds. So
yeah.
There's nobody retiring and taking the next 2 years off.
No, definitely not. We've got a pretty exciting Slalom final coming up, though. There's, like you said, Jason Lee. He has quite a considerable overall lead, and Sandsy will be looking to peg that back. And some of the scores Sands did today with an 18.8. I think if he can put that into his senior men's slalom run here, he'll have a good showing.
Yeah, you remember, Pete, we had the optional reride on the senior men's round to get into this, and Sandsy came out and skied an 18. So he's put up 2 18s here, that's amazing for a senior men's division. 18's pretty solid score for this group.
18 is very solid, and Jason, he was on fire this morning. He might have got probably got dropped on a cross at least, so he's right in the mix too. It'll be interesting to muck it out. And then the guys, like just below them, like Joe Lovato, he had a ripper run this morning as well. Yeah,
Joe's been skiing really well. It's a guy with a lot of confidence. Does very well under pressure. This is he comes and skis world tournaments like he's skiing in his backyard. Nothing seems to get to him. He doesn't get too amped up. He's a pretty level-headed guy.
Yeah, he always looks on the dock. You never know. Joe just looks like he's having a good time, doesn't he? I always feel like, geez, I'm nervous. Joe, what are you doing? He always looks happy.
Yeah, he does have a smile on his face. He's going to be a new dad here in a couple of months. So his first time through parenthood. It's going to be he's a pretty excited dad to be, and want to congratulate him with all the big exciting changes coming up in his life.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Now, on the dock, we can see Chris McWaters is getting ready to ski. Foot looks like he's been relegated to the back section. He's looking up to touch the rope. I'm pretty sure most people will not allow him to do that today. After the senior men skiing a couple of times. Yep, Foot's just holding on to the rope pole at the back, and he's probably just checking the length of that too, making sure that's the right length, because look, those mistakes happen, and it was a bit of fun, and Foot took it in his stride, and we are lucky to have him because Foot does a lot of good for the sport. But look, I'll be honest, I've been looking forward to getting stuck into Foot for some reason for some time. All right, Chris is in the water. Looks like Franksy's got wet from the boat too. It's a good way to do it. Wet the judge before you start, Chris.
Yeah, we had a 14.5 for Chris. We saw Joe Lovato skiing this morning trying to get in, or excuse me, not Joe. We had Doug Jordan trying to get in, but I think that was the open division he was trying to break into. And this is really the first true set here for the senior men's on the water today in the finals. Chris McWaters USA. Go ahead, Peter. Take us through the run.
Well, Chris has got a really nice style too. He the way he cuts, he's got plenty of speed about him, and I don't think we saw his best before, but you'll notice he's really tucking in there. He's got plenty of speed across the wake here forwards, and really leaning into that cross, pulling on the handle and leaning back. It's awesome to watch. This will be his faster run, I think, of the 2 runs he does today. But that's really clean crossing. Maybe a few early downs on the passenger side, but yeah, really nice crossing.
Pete, I had a 9 and a turn in on that one. That was a pretty clean run, I thought. Did you see? I mean, they all look. He kept it nice and tight. Kept the butt low all the way through there, handle out, nice and relaxed.
Very tight and very tight. I think that passenger side is close, but to get a 9.2, you really have to be close. There is no going wide and clean. 9-0. There we go. 9 from the boat. That's an awesome first start. Geez, to stand up off the dock, first skier away in the final, and put up a 9 on your first pass. That's an amazing, amazing achievement.
Especially for the seniors. I mean, 9 is a solid score. What we saw earlier in the semifinal round, to throw a 9 out there in the senior men's, the first guy off the dock. That gives you a little bit of an idea of the caliber of the skiing we've been seeing here all week. It's just amazing. I think not just as the 1, 2, 3 guys, but the whole groups of individual talent we're seeing here from all the countries, just compared to the last Worlds, just seems the bar just seems to be getting higher across the board for all the skiers that make it to the finals here.
Yeah, the bar is definitely getting higher. I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest. I just had Betsy yell out to me that they're going to kick some Aussie butt, and she looked at me and she gave me more of a literal sort of a feeling. So I'm glad I'm sitting down right now and she's not wearing shoes.
Yeah, I know, and she wasn't smiling when she said that either.
Not at all.
And I didn't know. Look, she might have the fang sticking out there.
A bit of a fang. All right, Chris has got his back deepy up. He's got his second pass, his backwards pass. So first round, what was he scoring his first round? A 14?
Yeah, Chris had a 14.5 to get in.
Well, he'll be looking for a 7 here then, guys. He'll be looking for a 7.
Yeah, I look for him to bump this up.
Yeah. That's a nice start, a really clean start. A little wobbly on that first changeover, but he seems to be getting back in a rhythm. He's got plenty of speed getting across the wake. Oh, that might have been an early down, but still really humming along here and making sure he leaves nothing in the tank. This will be his last chance to slalom here this week.
Yeah, he had somewhere around 8 crosses there, Peter, but it'll be interesting to see if he got full credit on all of them. That last cross, it looked like maybe his foot was still not clearing the crust at that point, so probably just a little under 8, and then we'll see if they were all clean and awarded. If it was, either way, he's definitely going to move up from that 14.
Oh, yeah, he has moved up there for sure. Chris will be stoked to hear this, 16.8. That's a great way to start off your slalom final, 16.8. Wow, yeah. Well done, Chris McWaters.
That is. And I'll tell you what, Peter, that just sets this whole group up for some exciting skiing. 16.8, if the preliminary round were, say, the finals, that 16.8 would actually put Chris McWaters on the podium with a bronze medal. So we've got 7 more guys to ski, and we've already seen a 16.8. This is going to be some unbelievable skiing here. Really got to push. Chris McWaters really set the bar higher here. He's going to push this group to have to go over 17 now to get on the podium.
Yeah, what an awesome thing to do. Come off the dock and do that. He should be very happy with himself there. That's nerve-wracking in the final, especially when you're first off the dock and you don't get to see what everybody else does. It's a great achievement. And Jerry, another American, he's on the dock now. We know Jerry for his flips, but he can slalom, and he'll be coming out and chasing that 16.8 pretty hard now, I think. Americans are starting depth behind Jerry. You see, Jerry's all padded up. He's ready. He means business. He's ready for action. We're pretty lucky here with these Sanger boats. Geez, they've got some nice wakes on them. And they're all very similar, which is great. So whether the seniors have been skiing in open or in seniors, and same with the juniors if they're skiing in junior open, they're getting fairly consistent wakes, and it's really showing in the scores. Like Keith St. Onge today with a 20.9 with a drop. Like that's a wake that can, that's a high quality top end wake. All right, Jerry ready's for his first pass here. Oh, that's quick. Geez, I love that. He was straight out of the box. Oh, he's dropped one early, but geez, he was out of the box fast there. That always helps, get a 0.2 past the judges before they start the timer. Oh, he's picked it up. That's a much better pace now. The first couple of crosses with that drop, he looked a bit uneasy, but he's finished off well.
Yeah, he didn't quite get 8. He was, about 7 and just past the center line when the buzzer went off there. But I saw what you saw there, Peter. It looked like, was it the first cross that kind of set the tone, or was it one after that? But it looked like he didn't keep the shoulders square coming across, and it looked like he might have dropped that foot down.
Yeah, definitely. That first cross was awesome. He was straight out of the gate, and that really helps you score. But unfortunately, missing that second cross meant he sort of had to reset his rhythm a little bit, and so it's like starting again from scratch. And as most slalomers will attest to, getting that rhythm is so important. 6.7 there. That's still a good score. That's with a drop, so that's not a bad start. But to get himself into a medal position, that's going to mean a 10.1. I don't know if Jerry's got that in him, So I'm sure he'll be coming back as fast as he can. I'm being told by Betsy he's got it in him. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
I'll be cheering for Jerry just as much. Jerry's an honorary Australian. Betsy, we love him. We love him to death.
Yeah, you might be getting flogged with that flagpole here, Peter, if we don't put a barrier up here pretty quick. It could get dangerous for you.
You got the standings up there. What's Jerry's PB? What have we got here?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just looking at that Chris McWaters score, Pete, and that is a personal all-time best there for Chris McWaters,
Awesome.
at 6.8. So he picked a great time to put that up. Oh, Jerry Kinnear, yeah, I do have that up. He's got a 16.2. Most recently this year at the Western Regionals, he had a 16.0, but 16.2 at the 2015 Silverado. That's his top score. So he's going to have to. He did a number of 16.2s back in 2012. So 16.4 in 2008. So he's been doing 16 pluses for a while here.
Yeah, that's impressive. Look, Jerry here, he's going to need a 7 at minimum to beat his first round score with that drop. So let's see what he got up to. Let's see if his backwards starts. He's quick out of the gate backwards, and he's made sure that first cross is good and the second. There we go. So Jerry's off and running. He's a little unshaky there, but I think he's gone down. That'll get you.
Yeah, Pete, you saw he shot wide on number 3. And then couldn't recover from that, and ended up crashing on the center of the wake on 4. Just couldn't get the foot back underneath him. So
yeah, it's so important, especially backwards, to hold position. Once those shoulders start to drop, you start pulling on the handle, you start moving your body position, and it can be so hard to get that posture back and keep slamming at speed. And Jerry, he lost it there for a second. He tried to keep going, tried to keep pushing the speed, which he needed to do. Like, he wasn't going to win a medal with a 13, so he needed to push hard. So, full credit to him going out as hard as he can and doing his best for the team and best for him. Okay, so he's got 11 there all up. He's got a 3 on that second pass, 3.3. So not his best skiing. He'll be a little bit disappointed, but got to give it to him. He's gone all out and had a good crack there.
yeah, it's 10.0, but Pete, you're right.
10-0, sorry.
Yeah, 10.0, but you said it. These guys, when Chris McWater comes out of the gate and puts up a 6.8, you just can't go out and ski a 14. If you're used to doing a 14 comfortably or a 15 comfortably, you got to go for broke and try to set a personal best and get on the podium. This is all about the medal around here and being on the podium. So Jerry Kinnear is going to get there with tricks. He's a good, solid tricker. He's got that event coming up yet, and if you haven't seen Jerry trick doing all 3 flips in his runs, it's worth the trip out to see that. That's something that you're not going to see every weekend at the lake.
No, definitely. Jerry is. It's so cool to watch. Jerry's one of the best flippers getting around, which is awesome considering he's a senior man. Flips are tough, and Jerry still being one of the best at them is cool to see. All right, we've got Gordy Cruton, the local boy from Canada. Gordy Cruton, or Rod Green as we call him in Australia.
Yeah, and Gordy's he's skiing open, and I believe he's in the. Did he make the finals in the open division as well in wake slalom? Or
I think he did. Yeah. So he's had a good tournament so far.
But here he is coming in. He had a 14.8 in the preliminary rounds. And Gordy's had some decent scores over the years too, up in that 16 area. There's one.
Look at that. That's fast. That's fast. He's really got that leg going in the air, leaning forward into the cross. That's impressive to watch. He's quick. He's only a little fella too, little feet to get moving that fast. It's very nice to see.
9. Sounded like 9. I heard the alarm maybe in the boat or over somebody over there timing, but that's what it is. That was around 9. Good solid score there. Gordy, he's a guy I noticed that when you watch him ski, he really picks that foot up high. When you're judging a guy like that, I mean, it's you're not going to get chopped on a lot of things. He really makes it obvious. He almost gets that foot up about waist level through the run.
Yeah, and he drives so much cut from that too. Like both feet are heading in that direction, and he must have a fair portion of his foot under the water and pulling against the boat because he's not a big guy. He doesn't have a lot of weight to throw against the boat, and use that engine speed to pull him across the wake. So he must get a fair bit of water in the foot in the water there to get that speed.
Yeah, that's a good point. He is probably maybe the shortest skier in this group.
No, and the lightest. I think on the scales, Gordy weighs about 8 kilos. So, which we'll convert that to pounds for our American friends. It's only about 22 pound. He's a little fella, and he drives a lot of speed for a little fella.
Looked like the judges' sheet there showed about did you see about an 8.6 or something?
Yeah, to be honest, I thought it was I couldn't tell if there was a drop in there. I think there was a 0.1 in there. We'll have to wait till he gets back, but he was definitely an 8 to 9 pace. That was pretty quick. He was really letting rip there. Again, chasing down Chris McWaters with a 16.8. Like, that's a big score to chase after, and there's only 2 guys in the round that have set that score. So
yeah, well, we see the score posted now for Chris McWaters. Looks like they knocked it down on 1, so it's 16.3 is what they're showing here on the live results.
Oh, he's off and racing already. That was quick. Oh, a little early down there on his second cross, but he'll pick up the speed now as he develops a little bit of rhythm. Got that nice high foot backwards as well, so it's easy to see. The camera's jumping in and out a little bit, but it's a 0.6 on the way back. And he's gone down, but that's out of time. That's not going to affect him that fall. That was out of time.
I saw a look like 7 and a center line on that, so maybe like a 7.6,
maybe even a 7.8.
Yeah,
hopefully the judges are feeling a little bit generous for him, but he definitely had that one drop there early. That's a shame for Gordy. He's going to regret that one, I reckon. But we'll see. Hopefully for the local boy, we can get him on the podium.
He number 2. He really got wide.
14.7 for Gordy. So great score, puts him in a second place at the minute, and gives him something to chase. Always better to be on the board with a high score than not on it at all. So good work from Gordy Croteau. I tell you what we're seeing. We're already seeing it here. That second cross is vital. That you come out of the gates really strong and you're trying to go as hard as you can. Normally in slalom, it's nice to build a bit of rhythm. Like your first cross is a little bit slower than the rest of them. Your second cross is a little bit faster, and from there it speeds up. These guys are throwing everything at it and making sure that first and second cross are on top speed to get the maximum score they can. But you do run the risk of being a little bit messy, and we're seeing that today. That's two skis in a row that have dropped their second cross. And on the dock now we've got Jim. I don't know much about Jim, but he can ski. The man is a good skier, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he came out and skied, and he as we've been talking about over the tournament, had a 17-year break from the sport. Came out, he jumped amazing, and
awesome.
His tricks were beautiful as well. But he's posted 16.9 in this event back in 2000, which was kind of his last year of skiing before he picked it back up here just in 2017 to get ready for this 2018 Worlds. But Jim Nyberg of Sweden, I've been impressed. He's a solid skier. He's a really good turner and tricks, and can really get out there too in the jump event. So good all around 3 event. He's solid in all 3 events. Like I say, he's put up a 16.9 before. If he can get close to that, he should be in good shape.
Could be on the podium. Him and Brett Sands took the time off from the 2000 Worlds to now. They've both rejoined at the same time, and both giving it a really good crack. All right, let's see what Jim's got in store for us. He's going to ski backwards. He's done the positional turn, and here he goes. Oh, that's fast. That is fast out of the gate. There he's on 2 crosses already. That was quick. A little bit messy in the changeover. Now he's starting. Oh, there's a drop. He's going too hard here, I think. He's just pushing a little bit too hard. Look, some great slalom, some really good fast slalom. So quick out of the gate.
Yeah, he was going after it. 7 and a turn in, but as we saw there, Pete, he definitely had a touch there on one of them. That's going to cost him a little bit. So I'd say probably somewhere in the 6.7.
Yeah, 6.5 they're giving him, so they're giving him a drop. Look, that is the risk. You can't leave anything in the tank in the finals. You've got to go out. If you want that medal and you're chasing 16.8, you've got to go hard. And it looks like he's given it his absolute all. He's put on a really fast out of the gate, and he's dropped a few crosses. But, hey, that's what it takes sometimes. And, it's so important to keep that position when you're backwards. These guys are pushing hard, but got to keep that position if they're going to progress and really put on those 8s to 9s that they're going to need for the win here.
We're going to get Jim dialed in for his second pass, and on deck is the USA's William Farrell.
Well, he is pumped too. He was really disappointed after that slalom run yesterday with the 12-2. He was shattered. So I think I think he could have kissed Brett Sands when he found out that rope was long. He was stoked to see that. He
Yeah.
got another chance. He look at him over there. He's blowing kisses because Willie is an amazing slallomer. And I've known Willie for a long time. When in 2000, that was my first Worlds, Jim's last one. And Willie put his arm around there and gave me a few bits of advice in that Worlds. It really helped me out in my barefooting career. So, it's great to see him back there and to see him come out yesterday after that first round where, the rope was long and he was really disappointed to the second run of it where he was pumped. It was great to watch.
Yeah, here we go. Coming up backwards, pass number 2, Jim Nyberg, Sweden. We think he had about a 6.5.
6.5. So he's gonna need a 10 to get into first spot, but I definitely think to get into the second place for the minute will he won't need that much. But he's going to be giving it hard. He went hard backwards, and he's quick out of the gate there again. But he's definitely more controlled here than he was backwards. He hasn't gone out as fast. He's building speed as the pass goes on there. Really nice technique, really nice style, getting plenty of speed and making sure the judges can see that foot.
Yeah, I saw probably a solid 8 there out of Jim on that pass. Not sure if they'll give him the turn in, maybe. So he's going to be around 14.5, which would put him, I think, maybe just a notch under Gordy. And, there were a lot of 14s in the preliminary round. So you just, guys that have yet to ski. So it's going to get interesting here.
And well, you picked it there, mate. 14-0 is the total score for Jim, so that is sliding him up there. These guys know, though, too. They've seen Jason and Sandsy go out, and Jim and Joe, go out and put on big scores in the open division. They know that they've got to, put something really decent on the board if they want that medal, and there's no point leaving anything in the tank. So they've given it a good hard whack, and look, I think Jim should be very happy with his 14. You'd rather do, 14 with a drop than, like 13-8, clean. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and you look at the pool here, the guys that were coming up on, they've had a warm-up pass this morning. They skied the open semifinals, and we saw some good scores. Joe Lovato, I think, had a 16.8, a personal best. Jason Lee put up a solid score, Sandsy. So, these guys are warmed up. They're ready to go. They've been out there already this morning. I don't know if that plays to your advantage or disadvantage at this point, Pete. What do you think?
Oh, look, it's a tough call. Jason and Sandsy, they've done a lot of skiing this week, and they'll be wearing out somewhat. But I think for this that both of them love their slalom. They're both really good slalomers, and technically they both did an 18.8. Jace just got that one drop, so it's going to be a great competition to see who comes out on top. But right now, Willie Farrell is in the water, and he is pumped too. He's been shaking his fist. He is ready to rock here. This is going to be a good pass from Willie Farrell. I can feel it. And here he goes. He's taken off. Willie might be the oldest guy in the senior men's competition, perhaps. He's over, you think he's 60 now? I think 63 we're guessing Willie's age is. Behaves like a 2-year-old, though. But look at that. That is some strong slalom. That's a man who's been doing it a long time and is really strong. Didn't try too hard on his first cross, making sure he builds the speed, just going for that big score. And knows to get there, to take his time. That's awesome. Oh, there's Tom. I think that's an 8. Is that an 8?
That's what I had. I had an 8, Pete. And, different style. He's more of a open up kind of in the crotch area guy. Gets that foot extended straight out. Little different style than some of the other guys we see here. And he's been doing it a long time with really good consistency.
Yeah, I think there's sort of there's the 4 different types of slalom. That there's you can have your leg out or your leg in, and you can be tall or you can be short. And Willie's sort of that tall leg out kind of guy, and it works for him. I mean, he got 8, and it's good to see. Like you watch, Jim before him who had that leg in and was sort of tucked down for his slalom. It's cool to see that there's still so many different variants in our slalom, and that. It's about taking what you can do and then driving the most speed out of it. And Willie's proof that you can stick that leg nice and wide and still get plenty of speed.
Yeah, I like to see the different signature techniques from the different skiers. And you're right. It's interesting at the end of the day to see, if there's a trend, a couple guys that are doing it a certain way, if they're at the top of the pack or if it's really irrelevant. And you know what, just as you said, Pete, I think if you look at it in a little more detail, you kind of find out that, there's room for variability to have success in the way you do things, that there isn't just one path or one way of doing things. And, you've been probably instructed tons of people over the years, and can probably just validate that. Yeah, I mean, the way one person does it versus another person, it might be harder for a person to comprehend a certain way of teaching or technique, and then you throw something else at them, and it comes. So
it's very, very often the case. I'll tell you my story after this, but because Willie's coming in backwards now, and he's going to need that. He's going for an 8 here. If he gets an 8, he very, very likely gets close to that podium or even on it. I think he is capable of more than 8, though, like a 9, and it puts him in the lead at the minute. So let's see how he goes. Starts, look at that, nice and strong. No doubt the judges are going to knock any of this here. Just super clean. Still pretty quick, though. Like this is no slouch slalom. This is really fast. He's got those arms up, his chest up. You can see his head. That's all good technique stuff that we like to talk about.
That's another 8.
Another 8. There we go. Willie's working his way to the podium.
All right, little announcements to make. Before the junior girls slalom, we're going to have a boat parade with all the junior girls. So before the junior girls slalom, all the junior girls down at the dock, we will arrange the flags for you. You'll all hop in the boat, little boat parade up and back to the lake. At the end of all of the skiing today, there will be a medal ceremony up near where the crowd is, I assume. Or anyway, end of skiing today, medal ceremony for all of the finals that run today.
All right, great skiing from Willie. What did he post there?
16.0 provisional for 63-year-old William Farrell out of USA.
That is fantastic. Absolutely beautiful slalom too. Like, really good technique, really strong, solid slalom. 16 on the board. That's fantastic. Good work. Puts him into second place currently. A couple of big guys to come, but I'd rather be sitting up the top end than the bottom end. That's for sure.
Yeah, that provisional scorer right now has Willie in the silver medal position. Behind your current gold medal spot, Chris McWaters with a 16.3.
And here comes Joe, our third last slalomer for the morning. Joe's already had it, like you said, that warm-up pass in the open men's, and he scored well. He scored really well. So this will be a great chance for Joe to put on a high score. And really, put himself to the top of that podium. That's what he'll be looking to do. He'll be looking for that 17 here, I reckon. All right, and here he goes. Here he is away. It's great. We've got a great facility here sitting right at the dock, or getting to watch the dock as they take off. We're pretty lucky. Hopefully a lot of people on the live feed back home are enjoying this as Joe comes in a chance. Americans are screaming. They're keen for him to do well too. And here he goes. Joe's got that stance where he really turns the foot, turns it sideways, reminiscent of Kenny Derry almost. Look how fast it is, though. He just digs in and bites across that wake. It's great to see. Keeps that handle nice and low, gets plenty of tension out of the boat, and that boat's really doing a lot of the work for him and sending him across the wake. Was that a 9.6?
I got an 8 with a turn.
Ooh, 8 with a turn there. Yeah. That's me not being able to count and talk at the same time. 8 with a turn back. That's quick. That's really good skiing.
Yeah, that was a solid run there. Joe can throw it down backwards.
Well, he's going to want a 9 here, I think. He's going to be chasing that 9.
Yeah, that score he had this morning in the Open semifinals, that would put him at the top of this group right now. We've got, that 16.3 with Chris McWaters at the best at the top, and we saw Joe ski that 16.8. So if he can do that here with the second run, he's going to be. That'll pretty much, with 2 guys to follow. If he puts up that score, he's guaranteed a spot on the podium.
And look, there's that old saying in barefooting, it's you don't have to be the best skier, you have to be the best skier on the day. And even now, it's more than that. It's not just about being the best skier on the day, it's the best skier of that round. Like Joe's already put on a big score, and he's, for a lot of the Open guys, they've come, they've done their skiing, they've gone. Joe's got to hang around now and put on another great score and make sure that he's the best of this round if he's going to come home with a medal. It's one of the cool things about the seniors. They're giving him an 8.1 by the looks of that. So it looks like they've given him an early down, and he's got an 8.6. So crackingly fast pace. Just dropped across early.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting. We've got at the previous Worlds, 2 of the senior men's medalists are not here. Ken Derry, as you recall, won the gold back in 2016, and Paul Stokes, he came in with the I believe it was the silver medal, And Joe Lovato was your bronze medalist. So we're watching the only guy from the last Senior Worlds that stood on the podium here right in front of us. He's going to put up his second pass, see if he can get back to the podium. Here we go, pass number 2, USA's Joe Lovato.
And he said, like we said, he's chasing an 8.8 to a 9 here, guys. That's what's going to, that's what's going to get him past that 16.8. He's going to need an 8.8, no drops. Oh, geez, that's fast. That's really moving. That could be an early down on his second cross. We've seen that a bit today. Gone out really fast on the first cross and dropped in early, but he's really developed some rhythm now and is really starting to get set. That one's a little slower. Oh, he's a little shaky towards the end. I don't know if the nerves have got him there or not, but, good effort. He's put in 100%, but I don't think he'll be super stoked on that run. Yeah, he's put his hands in the air. Great effort from Joe Lovato, really giving it 100%. Didn't want to leave anything in the tank. Probably didn't go as well as he'd hoped, but really gave it a good shake.
Yeah, that was a solid. I don't know, you kind of pointed one out there where he might have had an early set down. I don't, it's going to be close. It looked right on the border there, but it looked like about an 8. So if he gets full credit, it's going to be around, that 16.2-ish.
Yep.
16, which, we had William Farrell at 16 with a provision.
15.8 for Joe. So great skiing. Has put him in the second spot at the minute. But, the top 2 to come, that's, he could slide down the list. But you got to give it to him. He knew that he wasn't going to get a medal unless he gave it everything. And he's given it everything. And it probably, as I said, that backward slalom wasn't as good as he hoped. But, great effort. Really good to see.
I'll tell you right now, if what's amazing here to me, Pete, is your lowest seed coming in today in this event, Chris McWaters, is actually your leader with only 2 guys left. I mean, that tells you about the talent level of this pool. Anything can happen. Chris McWaters came in and scored a 14.5 yesterday. Boom, notched it up. He had almost 3 full crosses. Better score today for a 16.3 and finds himself here, potentially on the podium.
And well, look, at this stage, provisionally, he's on the podium. It just matters now what colour medal he gets. It'll be up to Jason and Brett to decide what colour medal he's going to get. And there's some really interesting stories playing out here. Not only are these guys going off for the silver and gold here, they're also that overall we talked about at the start there. There's 200 points odd in it. Jason's got a bigger jump and a better trick score, but Sansy's only got 12 overall points on him in slalom, and he'll be looking to go out. If he can put a cross on him, that gets him 40-odd points back. So really interesting story playing out now. Jason will be giving it everything here. He wants that gold medal. He missed it last year to Kenny Derry. He wants it this year, that's for sure. And look at this. This is that beautiful fast slalom where he leads with the foot, really gets some good cranking going on. You wouldn't believe he's even crossing away. Like, that just looks so smooth and so easy. It's like there's no bubbles in the middle there at all. Look at now, he's really cranking it up. This is going to be fast, guys. That's quick. What did we get to there? You were timing.
I had a 9 just in front of the center line.
9.6 to 9.8. That's fast. That is quick. That has really opened up the door here for Jason Lee. Brett Sands will be putting on his wetsuit here, going, rightio, boys. I'm going to throw this one out. You guys are going to have to. I'm going to have to give it my everything here.
Yeah, there's a
9.6. Wow, 9.6 off the dock. That's an amazing effort.
Yeah, that's a heck of a run there for Jason Lee right out of the gate. So, as we kind of said, with the scores the way they're coming in, we haven't seen a Joe Lovato. He had a 15.8 provisional, but 16.3. That's a pretty good buffer there. So I think it's safe to say we're going to see Chris McWaters on the podium.
Yeah, I dare say Chris has definitely got a medal here, and with a 9.6 off the bat there from Jason Lee, he's put himself right in the hot spot here. Like, nothing short of a fall is going to keep him off the podium as well. But I reckon this is going to be fast. He knows that Sansy's got a bit left in the tank in tricks, and he knows that Sansy's got a bit left in the tank in jump. So Jason will be trying to make sure he ends up in the lead in slalom after this round. He'll be going hard.
Yeah, Sands has really impressed us here with his wakes, well, across the board with everything he's been doing here at the Worlds, but his last 2 passes in wake slalom, his last 2 scores, 18 and 18.2. So, right now we're at 16.3 is the best scorer. We did see a beautiful score there in the first pass for Jason Lee, but boy, if Brett Sands can come out and ski what he's skied, I got to believe he's he's going to be on a high spot on a podium.
Oh, definitely. Sandsy will be bringing out the weapon, as he calls it, that back slalom. And he'll be watching Jason. He'll be noticing those hips swinging coming into that forward slalom. Sandsy will be getting those hips to swing, I think, as well, making sure that forward slalom gets above 8.2. But here we go with Jason Lee coming in backwards. Gets off to a nice start there. Look at this. He's really clean backwards. He stands nice and tall and makes sure that he's on top of the water and he's drifting across that wake. Look at that. That's quick. He's really starting to move into it now too as the speed picks up. Oh, he's dropped across there. He's not going to be happy with that. Oh, that's hurt him a little bit. That's unlucky for Jace. He'll be disappointed. Yeah, he's not happy there.
Yeah, he was not pleased with that, and he
still going to sit him on top of the podium though.
Oh yeah. He's at least, that'll be our top scorer. I'm trying to think where it was. He basically, collapsed kind of. His legs kind of collapsed there on the water, and
it was
he stalled out.
Look at that, 18.4 with that drop. That is incredible. Jason Lee, he's not happy with the run, but I tell you what, that was some impressive skiing.
Yeah, it was. You know what? It just I'm baffled at an 18.4 with what we saw there. I mean, and how frustrated Jason Lee was. I mean, he just bested Brett Sands' score of either round by 0.2. So Sands will have to ski the best score he skied all week and in a number of years in order to get to the top of the podium now.
In open men, Sandsy put an 18.8 on the board, so we know that Sandsy can do it. He'll be making sure here that he needs to lift his forward slalom, Brett Sands. He needs to really make sure that forward slalom's moving. And in training, Sandsy's really been working at it too by, going down in the changeovers, putting his feet level, really boosting up and turning his hips as he goes. And after that first round today, he's been thinking about it a bit. So Sandsy will be going out here, if he's forwards first, he'll be looking to get probably an 8.6. 8.2 will be happy with, but an 8.6 he'll be stoked with. So let's see if Sandsy can throw it down. Jace has left the door open a little bit, but wow, that's impressive to do that.
We got a little bit of a kick up there with Joe Lovato's score. They moved him up. We heard a provisional 15.8. They got him up at 16.1.
Right.
So, but I don't think that's going to be enough here, depending on how Brett Sands does. You never know. Here we go. Brett Sands, final skier of the event.
And listen to those Aussies cheer. The Aussies have really got behind their skiers this week, and it's great to see. Sandsy will give that handle a shake, and then he'll be off. Watch this, how fast he is into this first cross. There it is. That's straight across the wake. That's a better start from Sands than he had in the open, so this could be potentially higher than that 8.2 here. He's really starting to crank him out. Well, that one was a little bit slow, but didn't lose his rhythm. Wasn't happy with the cross, but didn't lose his rhythm. Oh, that could have been an 8.6 then, I think. 8.6 or 8.8.
He was past the center line on that.
He'll be a lot happier with that than he was this morning, I tell you.
Yeah, the screen got a little dark there. I don't think he was quite outside the wake, but definitely it looked like on or past the center line.
Yeah, I'm going to give him an 8.6 there. Whether he dropped across or not, that'll be up for the judges to let us know. But I think he'd be pretty happy with an 8.6.
Yeah, he's got the bread and butter on coming up here, right?
Yeah. He's not as fast. He's not as fast forward as Jason is, but he can really crank it out backwards. And back in the day, I've been in the boat with Sandsy doing 11s. I've been in the boat with him doing 11, so, if we can send all the junior girls down to the starting dock now, there's the boat parade going to happen soon. So, junior girls, if you can head down to that dock, boat parade, get to show off, wave the flag, and really show off who you are for the country. And there'll be plenty of people watching on the live feed too. So, all the junior girls can head down and meet Becky at that start dock now. That'd be great. But as I was saying, Sandsy's done a few 11s in practice, and this is the time where he'll want to drag it out. If we can get a 10 here, will give him the win. A 10 here will give him the win. That's it. It doesn't sound like it's easy to do.
That's a comfortable pace though for Brett.
He can do a 10. Yeah, he can do a 10. I reckon the first time Sandsy came over and skied with me back, this is 8 months ago. I'll have a run of back slalom and see how I go, and I'm pretty sure that was a 10. So it's in his back pocket. He can do it. He calls it the weapon. He'll bring the weapon out here. And, I can tell you as an Australian, my heart's racing. I'm pretty keen for him to get that gold medal and just to see what he's capable of. This is also a little bit of show. He's made the open men's final. This is a chance for him to put a big score on the board and show those open men that they've got something to chase as well. All right.
Brett Sands, second final pass.
He's
Gonna
up.
come up. Position turn to the back.
He does that positional turn. We've talked about this a lot. A lot of the guys do the positional turn because it puts
Here we
them
go.
nicer on their feet. And here we go. Watch how fast he sells straight out of the gate. Look at that. He is quick. Look at him pull against that boat. Back in the day, Sandsy could pull 2 or 3 mile an hour off the boat. But look how fast he is. There's very little time outside of the wake there. Nothing but fast crosses. He's on fire here too. This is going to be a hard pace.
Wow.
Yep. There's
There
his
it is.
10. There's his 10.
I saw a clean pull 10. Look at that.
He's pretty pumped.
Brett Sands, Australia.
And he's given a wave to the crowd there. The Australians have been right behind their skis all week, and it's I can tell you as an Australian standing on the dock, it's been a pretty good feeling to hear all that cheering, and it definitely takes the edge off a bit. So, it's great to see.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to go out on a limb and predict this one. It's so close. We had a provisional 18.4 for Jason Lee, and I believe what we just saw was a provisional 18.6 for Brett Sands. So right now it looks like about 0.2 separating the two provisionally. So
we'll just have to wait.
Too close to call.
18.8 for Brett Sands they've given him. That's a great effort from the Meg man.